Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the iSchool Sports Network halftime show, sponsored by a brand new look, and that's where we're located today. Miss Barbara and Onis fixed us up a nice spot to do this interview, and we appreciate them and all that they do for us. Now, I'm sitting here between two couples that are some of my favorite people, and of course, Coach Prestridge and Coach Waters, their combined stats. I didn't realize this till I started getting ready for this. 42 years of being a head coach, 297 wins. 38 of those 42 years were at Randolph County High School. They've been in the state titles 5 times, went to the state finals. Got one state title back in 2003. And then my favorite stat of all of those is they have 2 wives, not a piece, but that's combined, two wives. And so it tells you what kind of men they are and what kind of wives they have. Now, Pat, we'll start with you since this is your day. When did you first decide you were going to be a coach?
Well, the first thing I want to say is, it's a great honor to be sitting here with Coach Waters, my mentor over the years, and his wife, and also one of my colleagues that played beside of me that didn't let me get killed all the time. So, but it's a great honor to be here with them. And, this is not all about me. It's about, all of us here, the legend that we keep carrying on, or the tradition we keep carrying on that was instilled in us. I can't go back how many years ago because until I age too much, but it's a great honor. But I guess my first decision was about my senior year, I guess. Just the mentors we had around us as coaches. I think Coach Waters, Coach Horn, those two, because they instilled mostly because they were there my whole time as a ninth grader up. But, I guess, just following their footsteps and learning things from them over the years. And it just hit me one day, I guess, like a brick, that I wanted to follow their footsteps. And did I ever think I'd be back here at home? No. I mean, I didn't have a clue then. I was young and foolish, and no telling where I'd be at.
So let's talk about reaching the milestone of 150 wins. What does that mean to you, and did you set out to accomplish that goal a couple of years ago when you were 19, 20 years old?
I didn't know anything about it for years. I just never been a record person. I never kept up stats or anything like that over my career when I was playing and coaching. And I guess it came to me. I didn't come to me. Somebody just spoke it to me. Big Tim said something about it years ago, like you're at 138. Well, I didn't keep up with that stuff. I didn't know. And so he kept up with it all these years. And he said 138. I didn't pay much attention to it. I didn't think nothing about a milestone. I didn't think about 150. I just think about can I get it 139? And but to get there, it took a lot of like different philosophies from different coaches that I learned over the years. Coach Waters, I took a lot of his stuff over the years, his philosophy and ideas and strategies, and carried them with me everywhere I went. Even in Walker County, I took those with me. Then I had a head coach over there, Royce Young, that I grasped a few more things from. But I always come back. You always come back to your roots. You know what I'm saying, that you was instilled in when you was playing, and I appreciate what he did for me over the years.
So, Coach Prestridge, I know you don't like to brag on yourself.
Oh, Lord.
What is your number one strength? Because you don't just accidentally win 150 games.
Well, learning different philosophies from different mentors. That's probably number one, because you got to have an idea about the game. You got to know about the game. You got to know about different strategies, different situations. And I mean, I'm still looking for advice now from my mentors, because I remember Coach Waters coming up to me. It was a playoff game, and he was talking about our backs and the bone. That was a little bit too deep, and I still took that to that day and used that, moved them on up there. But, it's just a great honor, but, it takes great players. I mean, you got to have players. I don't care who you are, to reach 150, 140, I don't care. And I've been blessed over the years with mentors plus players, Walker County also, not as well as here. So, you're not going to win a race. I always tell the kids, Kentucky Derby, you don't see donkeys running Kentucky Derbies. You got to have some decking studs. So I've been blessed over the years, be a part of that. It's just not all about me. It's about, Randolph County, about our coach staff. You got to have great coaches too up under you. So, it's all a big family deal. And, 150 is great, but I'm waiting on 151 now. So,
well, you mentioned in those answers a lot your mentor, and of course he's one of my mentors as well. Sitting right here beside us is Coach Ron Waters. Now, Coach, you've mentored not only me and Pat, but several other people. And do you know that I did not realize this either? Here's another stat for you. Coach Waters is responsible indirectly and directly for over 1,000 victories in the state of Alabama. A lot of it right around here with Coach Prestridge, Larry Strain, Coach Gooden, Danny Horn. So, he's been a mentor to a lot of different people and done a good job. Coach, what was it like having Pat as a player?
Oh,
the good parts.
Well, go back to way back to when I was first starting, when he was a little league baseball player down here, and I was doing the umpiring in the summertime. You realize pretty quick that, he was a good athlete, and got on up big enough in school when they started playing football and all. You realized he had a lot of good skills, and he probably had a chance to be a quarterback. And I remember when he was a ninth grader, he didn't start off the year kicking for us that year because he was a ninth grader and he was kind of young. But by the time we got to the playoffs that year and made it to the championship game that year, came in and did the job for us as a kicker. And like I said, it's just one of them things. It's just like any good athlete, you just give them a few tips and turn them loose.
Well, now it's funny that you mentioned that. That's one of my memories too. It was actually November the 3rd, 1984, when Pat really made his mark on as a kicker in the ninth grade. Put us ahead.
Ninth game of season.
Put us ahead of Montevallo. We won that game 10-8 off the leg of Coach Prestridge right here. Now, Coach, that's a player. What does it mean to have someone go on and win 150 games that actually played for you? And not only that, but here at Randolph County High School.
Oh, it's just great. I always tell people, I say, whatever you got to say is a record's made to be broken. You know what I'm saying? Proud, that somebody was able to have some success here, and all, and keep the tradition going that we tried so hard to get started here. And the fact that he's a player that played for you makes it even more special.
Yep. All right, now we want to get these two men off the hook. We're going to talk about their better halves just a minute. So, Miss Amy Prestridge, Pat's wife. Amy, I'm going to give you a chance to introduce you and your family. Tell us.
All right. I'm Amy Prestridge, and we have a daughter, Hannah, that's 25, and a son, Andrew, that's 22, and a grandson that just turned 2, Kason.
All right. Now, Amy, you moved into the Wedowee area.
Yes.
And, of course, we know, like Coach Waters referred to a minute ago, the Prestridge name has been associated with Randolph County athletics for a good while, since the 70s. So what was it like moving into an area and with the last name of Prestridge?
Well, I guess when I first came into the town and had been here for a while, I kind of realized, yes, that everybody kind of knew who I was. When we moved back, and I didn't know a lot of these people, but they knew who I was, and his daddy, helped a lot and everything, and that's good. But we're just normal people like everybody else. We just put our pants on one leg at a time like everybody else. So, but yeah, it's good to have a tradition like that.
Well, you can definitely tell she's a high school coach's wife by that quote. Put our pants leg on one at a time. So now this is something I've been excited about for some time now. I finally get an interview with Miss Liz Waters, who is one of my favorite people. And now, Liz, I'm going to give you a chance to introduce yourself and your children and grandchildren.
Okay, well, I'm Liz Waters. Ron and I have been married 44 years, and we have 2 children, Crystal Stewart and Rusty Waters. Crystal was a cheerleader. Rusty was a football player at Randolph County. Crystal's married to Brad Stewart. They have 2 daughters, Maddie and Harper. They live in Bremen. Girls go to Bremen. And Crystal's a speech pathologist there. Brad's a poultry farmer. And our son is Rusty Waters, and he lives in Albany, Georgia. And he is a coach at Lee County High School in Georgia. They won the state championship once, and they played for the state championship last year, and they were beat by Buford.
All right. So the tradition
Very
just
proud of them.
continues on with the son. So now I'm gonna call you Liz. So,
Please.
now I know being married to Coach Waters is just that's an honor in of itself. Okay.
Big honor.
But tell us one specific memory you remember as a coach's wife while he was head coach at Randolph County High School. What's the story that comes to the first?
Well, the first story, and this was the year that we were beat in the championship by Briarwood, and our son was quarterback. And just coming off the field and the emotions from Rusty and from Ron, and that will always stick in my heart. But we had so many wonderful memories and so many wonderful players that still hold that special place in my heart, like children.
So now, what I remember a lot, especially as a player, was that every Friday afternoon I could count on seeing her, Coach, when she brought you clothes to you.
Right.
And not that you're superstitious or nothing, right? How did that get started?
Well, it got started the first season that he was head coach. And when you're winning, those traditions continue. But there's a funny story behind that also. One Friday that I pulled in the field house behind, and I was in my van, pulled in behind Ron's truck, and he didn't see me. We were playing blindfold that day. And all of a sudden, I saw that truck go in reverse, and I knew. So we kind of had a little collision. He said, "Oh, don't worry about it. We'll take care of it Monday."
Nobody ever parked behind me.
Well, now, Amy, I'm going to ask you, is Pat superstitious?
Yes, and I have to bring his clothes to him every Friday, and he has his certain things that he likes to wear every ball game, and so yes, I would say he is.
So it sounds like another mentor moment there, as you must have been watching Liz pulling.
Well, I didn't know that at that time, but now I do. But I'm gonna say this about I guess the only reason I'm probably sitting here today coaching football, I might have been coaching baseball or something like that, and somewhere else. But I mean, it goes back to when I was probably in 8th grade, and this stuck with me for I was 8th grade. I was 13 years old, I guess, 13, 14, maybe 8th, 9th grade. I can't remember which year it was. Well, I went on to play football in spring. I said I went on to play football. I remember one man called me in his office and said, you're the leader of this group. If you don't play football, the rest of them's not going to play football. That's all he said to me. And that day before, I played. A lot of doors open, like he's talking about kicking and all. It opened, 9th game of the season. If I'd have shut that door that year, would I be sitting here today? I doubt it. I mean, I'd probably be a chicken farmer. But, things like that stuck with me. But, you're talking about tradition, superstitious. I remember we used to get them paths out, them old cots out, lay around the field. Somebody would be out there looking for 4-leaf clovers every Friday. So,
I don't know.
And they be laying over there, here he comes, be quiet. But, I remember a lot of stuff like that. And you talking about, Coach Ward's been, he's won a state championship and been part of that, and we all have. But, the biggest thing is, you look at how many people you influenced in your life. Look at all the coaches. I mean, I can't even go to all the coaches that's coaching now that was up under him, and that's more to a state championship than win a state championship. I mean, the tradition that you led everybody else to, to carry on, and what you taught other people. So if you put that in championships, I can't tell how many folks is coaching that played up under him and coached up under him over the years. So that's, to me, that's more of a championship than winning this championship.
All right, so speaking, I'm going to give you men a chance to really get some brownie points with your wives.
Oh, Lord.
In one sentence, Coach Waters, how has having a wife like Liz Waters helped your career? If you can say it in one sentence.
Very easy, dependable, just like football players. You didn't have to worry about things like that. She took care of all the other stuff and made it easy for me to concentrate on what I really had to do.
Yeah.
So,
Coach Prestridge, one sentence.
Mine's going to be a paragraph. I mean, I would have made it today. I mean, because, times are different now. We got Dragonfly. We had different technology now. And she helps me with all the eligibility, getting to make sure all the kids has physicals and everything, because all that has to be put on Dragonfly. So she does a lot of stuff, as far as selling banners and all that stuff. I don't have to worry about all my little – she says I call her 1,000 times a day, and I do. But, it's an honor for us to have wives like that that support you, and, they're there all the time, and and put up our late hours. I mean, we're gone. I mean, I'm gone. I know Coach Waters gone a long time. I know they used to have to go make film from Birmingham. Go leave on Sundays and go develop the film. So luckily we don't have to do that anymore. We got Huddle. So, but I just hope, I'm just glad my wife didn't beat somebody up in the stands over the years.
Well, all right. Well, Coach Waters, Liz, Pat, Amy, we do appreciate your time and appreciate y'all coming out and doing an interview. We'll step away from this interview, and there'll be the second half of the football game coming up, and that concludes everything from the High School Sports Network.